read the German much faster than Korean, because if there are people who truly read every episode of my video uploads, they would actually notice that these phones are not really in normal condition. You have witnessed them. No matter how many times I press a certain button that I wanted to, they're not being, blinked. They're not being pressed. There are certain forces that are actually truly trying to manipulate the inputs that I have put out. That's really the reason, S and D was right next to each other. If someone truly can capture what has been captured by my pupils, they clearly saw that. I actually thought to myself internally with the clear vision experiences, I never actually lied. You can truly actually notice that. You have done nothing wrong, Carola. You could actually feel really proud of yourself concerning what you have done to your life, on your life. Because you know what, despite all the difficult situation, you have already made a good success. How bad it is, that one child might not actually be embraced by one's mother. It's really easy. This lady, also, the daughter definitely makes me feel painful. I don't really need to thank you for your sharing of the story, Carola. I don't really need to. It's really, incomprehensibly difficult life history. Dear, VDR team, great respect for you guys and your reports that has been actually done and documentations. They're really amazing. And thank you for this, history. I would like to actually, have a llama and a alpaca. I know these animals. Yeah, they're in Mexico normally. My absolute respect. I know, how you actually feel about the situation, and I wish you all the best. I don't really need to. One truly, a beautiful and emotional video. I don't really need to. How total, how nice to actually witness this rapport. Has Danny Holler has blessed anything off? I don't really need to. It's really actually touching, someone, cried over this. How painful this it is, to witness this type of histories from thousands of different affected people. There are many different stories, still painful and tragic. I don't really need to think about it. Oh, you know what? Let me actually prevent this type of damage. I have to. That's really the reason I adopted this writing system. I never actually really need to think about the timeline. That's a bullshit. No, I have never done it. That's a really kind of miserable situation. If you ever actually really watch, something, what was really the key that I pressed? Is there anyone who actually watches this video that I've uploaded? My fingertip was on S or D. Have you ever really watched this video? I should have never deleted it. My finger was definitely clearly indicating and pinpointing S, but it was actually blinked on the other side of D. If you ever actually analyze a video, the key that was lighted was a D, despite my physical position and location of a fingertip was on S. I never actually forgot this moment because I'm not lying. Because I internally, before I actually put down the answer, thought to myself, I experienced this. That's really easy. As whoever actually thinks that I would be a nun to this, that must be really shameful for them because they don't really know a thing about German. Young and houseless, homeless. I don't really need to think about it. It's really easy. I can actually read something much faster. When an emergency sleeping place for homeless youngsters in Essen. For many, this type of makeshift stop for a short period throughout their long journey. This is the one challenge. As many actually, already placed themselves in this vicious cycle. They're actually, relying on drugs and addicted to drugs, and they are already turned themselves into criminals. They already had a criminal histories behind them. One life without family, with no house, with no perspective. And these youngsters, young adults, have no homeland and no house to call a family. 37,000 already actually in Germany. And what type of chances these so-called street kids to actually bring themselves for the normal life to actually be in the system once more? I don't really need to think about any of them. 11 singles on their search after the great luck. This a documentary program over errors and twists and the turns of the love and over dating and the dating portal website. They were, filled up with a deep disappointment and a great hopes. 11 singles searching after their partner and possibly for the love of their lifetime, the great love. However, how, a dating application can hook them up with the serious love and true love. Or they could actually be happy with no partner. Would that be possible? Unattached can be happy? I don't really need to. I'm not searching for it. I can actually do anything. Everything by application. How, widely China is accustomed to. Or, I don't really know. It's an unfinished sentence. It could be anything. How, China is advanced ahead of us in terms of digitalization. It's really the case. Who has the power over the internet? Players like the United States and China have already shared the market by being the frontal head players. Can Germany, meanwhile, claim one's own position in this international race against the digitalization? The answer is not necessarily that good to have their chances. I mean, as a German, right? As a German society, I mean. And these companies, they're really successful. Amongst them, only 58 German companies place themselves to be part of them. The software companies SAP and the great big shots normally come from the United States and China. They're really the one who've been actually taking up the majority, the great portion in the market as the greatest market dominance rates. And these companies definitely offer a lot more than by any others. With that, they have already been so much well-known. Set technological experts, Jamie Bartlett, to Google and Facebook and everything, they already actually know what command and demean the situation. And everyone actually pays attention to that. Not just only a searching engine or social media platforms or video sharing platforms, they actually command more than that. They actually hear about these every day. They are so deeply connected to our daily life. They're actually penetrating into duplicating themselves into more of different branches and industries and sectors to exert greater influence by themselves with a greatly increasing rate. That's what it said. Exactly, that has already actually been made by the Chinese, company Alibaba, who makes one's own market dominance with the everyday offered, with everyday products, from web space over shopping, this online payment system Alipay, and meanwhile, there are more of industries in Germany and the German industries that could also participate in, that could also make their own business. And also, naturally, these companies definitely gather and reserve more of information given by consumers to actually claim a greater possession in the mining of the consumer data. How slow, Germany is in terms of digitalization, we actually noticed that throughout the Corona time. Then actually comes, yet another challenge. What we actually have so far missed. This is one part of the resumes by the document called the New Land. And then, by that, the Europe worldwidely plays a very important role in terms of the power, dominance, and constellation. And in terms of that, this internet giant, to regulate these internet giants, the Euro Commissioner, Margaret Vestager, is one of the most important voices. We need more regulations to secure, to actually have these platforms to truly serve the people, not the other way around. We should actually, introduce more regulation to keep them accountable, to have this platform just truly serve the people in the European continent, in the European Union, not actually, do things other than that. That might actually make more money profits out of people by deceiving them. No, this should never be actually done by introducing much tougher and stringent rules and regulations. That has been really suggested by one of the most important voice of the European Union, the European Commissioner, the European competition agency's head, right? I'm not really so sure. But the thing is, it's really easy.